What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about bad roommates that my homie had in grad school. So, my homie's from California, but he moved out to the Midwest to get his master's degree, and he ended up at a school that was pretty close to where I was at the time, about an hour away. And he had to move a little over a year ago, I think it was last May, because he's been there for about a year. His first roommate, well, they were both random, but the first roommate, his name was Jack. And Jack actually had a different name because he was an international student, but it was so difficult to pronounce for the average American that he just picked Jack. So his name is Jack, but that definitely was not his real name. Dude barely spoke English, was super socially awkward, like did not interact with my homie at all. He like chain smoked cigarettes all day. And keep in mind, he's like a younger guy, like a younger grad student, so probably like early mid-20s. And this dude was door dashing alcohol every day. And let me tell you, some of the shit he whipped up in the kitchen, I'll have to put a picture in there. Pretty sure I have one. But it was actually foul. Like, we called it the Wuhan Delight because it looked so gross. Like, you couldn't even tell what he was trying to make, you know? And I feel like it had to have given him food poisoning of some kind. Like, that shit was disgusting. But this dude's chain smoking cigarettes, getting drunk every day, making disgusting ass food in the kitchen, and he would just like stay in his room and scream on video games like all day long, or on speakerphone. Like, he was always talking to somebody in another language. I don't know what it was exactly. I think he was from China, so it was probably Chinese. I'm not sure, or Mandarin, I don't really know differences between all that, because I'm a chud American. So anyways, this guy was like actually just a degenerate. Like, he did not leave the place, like straight door dashing fucking everything, except when he made Wuhan Delight in the kitchen, and like did not interact with my boy at all, which probably wasn't a bad thing because I don't think they had a lot in common. But I'm pretty sure this guy was just tweaking on like Counter-Strike or Dota all day long, screaming in another language and getting drunk and smoking cigarettes. Like, I guess he was getting the full American experience, I don't know. Anyways, my homie only lived with him for like the summer, and then he had to move into a new place for the rest of the school year. And that's where we meet Rod. Now, Rod was random roommate number 2. And if there was any indication of how bad the first roommate was, Rod was 10 times worse. First night of being roommates, Rod gets locked out, and my guy is my homie. He's got to get up super early for some stuff in his program, and Rod is banging on the door at like 2 or 3 in the morning because he like went out and got locked out of the place. And so my homie's like, yo, this is a bad indication of how this is about to go. And it was. Rod was a roommate nightmare for the whole year. He had a girlfriend who was there all the time. Dude like only knew how to make food in the air fryer. So, and he like didn't clean anything, obviously. It was like a raw explosion in that apartment. Because, you know, I was pretty close, so I went to go hang out and see him and stuff. But we didn't spend too much time in the apartment because it was kind of gross. But yeah, like, this dude is only eating like frozen air fryer food, like doing his shopping at Target straight from the frozen section. Like, he didn't know how to use the kitchen, literally. Because my boy was getting ready early in the morning to go to classes and stuff one time. And Rod is in the kitchen and he hears like a clicking sound coming from the kitchen. He's like, what is that? And it's Rod trying to turn on the fucking stovetop, but he doesn't know how because he's never like used the burner before. So he doesn't know how to fucking use it because they had a gas stove. Keep in mind, this guy is 26. I guess he's 27 now. Undergraduate student, majoring in like journalism or some shit like that. And Rod was also always on the speakerphone. Always on the phone, talking about something like, oh, I got beef with this guy and I'm gonna knock his ass out and whatever. Keep in mind, Rod is like a freaking chud, obviously. Eating frozen ass food, 26 years old, 27 years old, undergrad, journalism degree. Like, I saw some of his homework and one of them, I shit you not, was times tables 1 through 12. Times tables 1 through 12 in college. I didn't even know that was an option. Like, what math could be taught at that level at a college campus, you know? But yeah, this guy was a freaking chud, and he tried to cheat on his girlfriend, who was equally chudded out. And the story was, and you know, the nice thing is that we got a lot of good stories from Rod because he was always on the fucking phone. So my boy could hear him like all the time talking about this, that, and the other. And Rod like went out and was trying to get with this girl that was not his girlfriend. And he was like, oh, like, let me slide, whatever, like trying to spit game and shit. And according to Rod, she was like, she'd kind of been around, you know, like she'd been with a lot of guys. And she denied him because she said he was autistic. She's like, oh, like I don't want to get with somebody on the spectrum. Like I'm not okay with that. Like, I don't want to do that. And Rod was actually on the spectrum, literally. So he got denied for being autistic, or at least that was the reasoning she gave. And he's complaining to his boy, like, oh, she let like all these people in high school get with her. Like, what do I gotta do? And it's like, bro, apparently there's nothing you can do because of your current situation. Yeah, I guess his girl found out, and that was a whole thing. And he's like, babe, like, I love you. That's not who I am. Like, I'm trying to be better. Like, that wasn't me. Saying all this while he's taking a shit on the toilet. You really can't make this stuff up, man. Like, this was just the kind of guy he was. And there's so many stories I'm gonna leave out of this that really define who Rod is, but yeah, I wish I could include them, but I can't, because I'm not gonna remember all of them in this short time period. I didn't like prepare a script or write anything down, so yeah. Rod's the man, if you haven't gathered that already. So he also had a firm belief that he was gonna be making six figures like right away out of college. Like, he would like apply for an internship or a job, and in his mind he was like 90% of the way there to getting the job after sending in his application. He did not get those jobs. He had a job as a dishwasher, which apparently he like stopped showing up to at some point, and he called them back because he needed money, and he was like, yo, like, can I get my dishwasher job back? And I guess they were like, nah, like, we already hired other people, like, we're good. we're not hiring right now. He's like, what do I gotta do? And they're like, no, like we're just not hiring. Like we don't need your help. And then he said he wanted to work at the hospital because he heard they were paying like $30 an hour or something. Keep in mind, we've gone over Rod's current qualifications: 26, journalism degree, maybe halfway complete, because I'll get into the next part. So he's definitely not qualified to work at a hospital. And I'll sum this up with Rod's aspirations to graduate. He was set to graduate in May of 2027 because he's, quote, a little behind. But as long as he stays on track right now, he's good for May 27. So that's why he started planning his grad party. Talking about how he needs to get some new clothes for the grad party, and he's already got a big guest list going of 150 people. And yeah, dude, the grad party is gonna be super lit. Like, I can't wait for that when he graduates. That guy's not graduating, or I'll say it's very unlikely that he actually graduates, my opinion. So we'll see. His parents were also encouraging him to like get a master's degree, and I was like, dude, like you gotta like stop lying to your kid at some point. Like, he's like 27, like not really close to finishing his undergraduate degree. He does have a learning disability, like actually. It's just not realistic, you know. So anyway, my friend ended up moving out like a month or two ago, so haven't heard any speakerphone updates from Rod, unfortunately, but the legend lives on. Hope he's doing well. I hope he graduates soon. Yeah, and I hope he gets another air fryer, because when it was my friend's air fryer that he was using, when he threw out the air fryer, Rod stopped using the kitchen because he didn't know how to use anything else. So anyway, that's it for now. Shout out to Rod. Yeah, prayers up for him.